I am Plankera. Today, I'm going to continue cutting out the art for a Shalom from Path to Nowhere rig. Last time I was almost done with Shoral here, and, well, I say almost done, but I think I still have to do quite a lot of redrawing from the sides in order to get that to turn the way I want it to. But, well, I will believe what I want to believe. I made a lot of progress, and it's almost done. So I was gonna have to figure that out at some point. I was trying to figure out how exactly to go about making all this turn the way I want, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to pull some shenanigans. I don't feel like worrying about shenanigans right now, so I'm just gonna cut out the top part. And I should name this. And then I'll worry about the kind of shenanigans that I might have to pull a bit later. At least this top part will be a little bit easier. I just have to worry about the side. I don't have to worry about, like, this little top area here. So that should make my life a little bit easier. We'll see if I decide to do everything now or if I will just come back to it later. It'll probably depend on how I feel. Like right now, I don't really want to. Definitely make sure you name those layers. I would be very much suffering later if I did not. So I guess we'll just start cutting this part out. I'm not worried about the lines here, because I'm pretty sure it's all going to be covered up once I start drawing some stuff underneath here. But, for now, this should be fine. I'll just work on getting it all cut out. The fact that there's considerably less on this one makes me think that it won't take me as long, so it'll be fine. I'll just need to figure out exactly how much extra stuff I need in order to make this spin properly. And I really do want to try my best to get it to spin. It's an effect that I have tried in the past but couldn't quite figure out how to make it work, so I want to give it another shot. I want to try again. But first, I just gotta cut out this stuff right here. Here I am worried about the lines, because I want these to be nice and clean and precise. Because this layer is going to be the one sitting on top. And it's almost there. Fortunately, like I said, this part didn't look like it was going to take very long at all. Although I'd probably do want to clean up some of the sides here, because they're not looking nearly as messy on that side, and I don't remember redrawing all that. So maybe I just got lucky. I am gonna fix this because this looks pretty rough. This side looks pretty rough. Nothing a little bit of relining this can't fix. It's no problem at all. Minorly inconvenient at best. And I'll just touch it all up and make it look nice. The other side doesn't look so bad because it wasn't on the transparent edge, but and I'll just make it a little bit straighter. because I think it'll look a bit strange otherwise. Go in and fix all those colors. Make the edge nice and smooth. Bit unfortunate that I have to redraw that, but here we are. How's that? I think that's pretty alright. Okay. Now I just gotta separate the triangle. What did I call the bottom one anyway? Or did I not? I didn't. Oh, that was silly of me. It's okay, I named it now. I'm glad that I caught that, because otherwise that would have been a bit sad later. Once again, I'm not going to worry about the glow. I'm just worried about the triangle. Because I think making the glow myself will be easier to manage than trying to perfectly cut out the glow on the original. That sounds like suffering. And as much as I want to get as close to the original as possible, there's a limit to how much I'm willing to suffer for it. When I can get an effect that's very, very similar for much less work. Some of these colors look a bit off, so I'm gonna fix them while I cut. And this should be the last thing I need to cut. The rest of it is just going to be redrawing, and if I need any more layers, they're just going to be masks. So shouldn't be any trouble at all. And then I'm going to have to wrap my head around some perspective, which is always a bit rough, but I think I can manage. And you know, now that I've gotten started and I'm kind of getting into it again, I think I am ready to just hopefully finish this little guy. And get all the layers that I will need for that and hopeful eventual spinning animation. I will definitely want to touch up the edges there. There's these weird blue marks that I don't think I like. And then, of course, I want to get the outline on there, too. Just a little bit of redrawing necessary here. You know, just the unfortunate artifacts from upscaling it. I just keep running into them everywhere. It's very unfortunate. Some of this is kind of blending in with other backgrounds, so I want to make sure that I have everything cut properly. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was having trouble seeing where the gray edges of that were and the gray background, so I figured I should check it on black and white. Fortunately, still do not have to check it against that green yet. That green is there for emergencies only. For those perceptive people that have been looking at my layer panel and wondering why I have that bright green background option. It's going to be mostly for finding holes in the end. There we go, just getting the line back on this. Making it Seeing if I can get that stroke. It's a bit hard to do and talk at the same time, so I apologize if I get quiet for a little bit. Just had to focus for just a moment. Well, I got that line. And even then it's not especially straight, so I should probably try again, honestly. Just wanted to take it nice and slow. Just once more. There we go. That should do it. And then I'll just go over some of these other parts that link a little bit off to me. There we go. That should be good. Go back to my gray background. Now we'll make it glow. With just a quick blur. Hey, look how painless that is compared to trying to cut it out with the glow. That's just so not gonna happen. Okay. Now I gotta cut the triangle out of the original here. And then after that, on to figuring out what the heck I'm gonna do with perspective. I'm terrified. There's a little bit of artifacting down here that I noticed while I was cutting out some stuff that I want to get rid of. I'll just clean that up, and then I think I want to fix the line down here just a little bit. Cut off a little bit too much, perhaps. But it's alright. I can just go back in and fix it. No problem at all. Okay. That should be good. Now I can lock this layer again. And I'll go back to getting out this light part now that I've separated it. Just go in there and make it so that this part was never even there in the first place. It has a new home now and a separate layer, where I can move it more easily. But it doesn't need to be here. It's all good. And I'll just clean up some of the spots that look a little bit messy. Meh. There we go. And look at that. And just a couple of quick strokes and it's just gone. Sometimes I'm always afraid that these parts are going to be difficult, but they always end up being kind of easy. Some redrawing is much harder than others, but lately it's felt pretty easy for me, and that's been nice. I'm trying to keep some of the banding that I see here, where, you know, kind of has these little bands of color. Because those are present in the original, even on my unupscaled reference. And I used to cross-reference things. So I do think that it just is supposed to look like that, so I'm gonna try to make it look like that. Just do what I can to preserve as much of the original as I can. As as much as I can. I think that's the best way I can pay respect to the original while still creating my own thing from it. I think this will make for a pretty cool model once it's all done. I really am looking forward to making it all move. It's almost gone. That didn't take long at all. So yeah, I don't think it'll be too much trouble to go in and do some of the other more difficult parts with this particular part of the model here. I'll probably just go in and see if I can't figure out how to make the layers spin the way I think they should. Man, there's just lots of little things I gotta pull out here. I think I'm gonna have to go back over it again because I still see some residue. I kind of want to go in and make sure everything's blended well. And I do think some of these lighter parts are just a result of glowing from the lights that I'm pulling out, so I'm gonna try to lessen them just a little bit. Like, I don't mind if it's glowing a little bit, because, I mean, those parts are still there. They're just on their own layer now. I just want to make sure that everything is able to move independently easily enough. Make it easy enough to handle. There we go. So I think that's all cut out now. What do you know? It looks almost exactly the same as before. Perfect. Exactly what I was going for. Could be a little disheartening watching, you know, all this work just have it look the same. But it is what I'm trying to do, so no problems there. All right. So to make my life easy, I think I'm going to start with kind of extending just this side. Because all I really need to do there is make this part a little bit wider. So if I just pull this a little further across. Yeah, something like that. That should give me a good basis. For extending that. Just kind of getting a feel for how much space I want to give myself, and I think it will be something like this. I'm definitely going to have to redraw this line, but I just kind of want to get the gist down. And that's still pretty firmly underneath here. Honestly, instead of doing it like that, I'm wondering if it would be easier for me to duplicate this, drop it underneath. Okay, so now I have this. And I have the line already drawn for me. And then I just go in and match the colors. So that instead of using the lighter ones from that side, I just take the darker ones from this one and blend them on over. Maybe eventually let them get lighter. And this way I have the lines, and I don't have to draw those. Yeah, that sounds nice. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. We'll just keep it locked, and I'll start dragging all these dark colors over. And then I can just kind of do what I want. There's no lights on this one, so I think it's probably okay if it's a bit dark. I know part of that is probably just from the angle, but I'm not going to be able to really show this thing spinning unless I make both faces look very different. This will be the dark face. And with that, I should be able to just make it spin. In theory. Like I said, inexperienced rigger, trying something new. I'm terrified. But I think it'll look good. Maybe. Alright. Now I just gotta blend these two halves into each other. And I don't mind keeping this side relatively similar in color. I'm still not quite sure how this is going to work out, but I'm going to try. If it ends up just being too complicated and I have to, like, follow tutorials and really dig into that, I might end up doing part of this off-stream. But I will try to do the entire process on-stream as usual. But, like, I don't want to be listening to tutorial videos on stream. That'd be a bit awkward. I don't want to be streaming other people's content. Though I know React content and stuff is popular, it just feels weird to me. It's a choice. And not one that I think other people should necessarily worry about. I'm just here kind of voicing what I'm worried about for the time being. It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see how well I am able to pull this off. There's a lot of color to pull over. It's gonna take a while to make all those edges nice and smooth, but I still think that this is probably easier. Because I mean, if I drew it from scratch, I still would have had to do all this. Except I also would have had line art and other stuff to worry about, as opposed to just pulling the color over. And making sure that I get rid of where this edge used to be. Let's come back down here and blend some of these colors together. I still want to keep those bands, so I'm not too worried about blending each horizontal segment with the one below it. I just want to make sure that as it goes all the way across, it's seamless and looks like it's supposed to be that way, as opposed to repainted like it actually is. And then I think I'm going to want to duplicate the top layer. I might need to do both of them. Basically, I just want to have it so this way when one is turning away and about to go away completely, that I can have another one coming on the other side to complete the spinning effect. I think that's how that's normally done. Actually, you know what? I do think I am going to look that up. So I think I will leave the rest of this cutting and redrawing to next time, after I've had some time to look some of that up. But so far it's looking alright. I'm just a little crooked. Okay. Let's do some cutting on the main body then. I think I'll do the shirt. So I do have to blend in the two spots of the shirt that I cut. But that is doable. Let's trim over here first. And get all of this lining up correctly. I kind of figured that this would have some extensive redrawing no matter what I did. But I still think this is easier than the alternative of just not pulling from another source and just redrawing the entire shoulder myself. I can take colors from down here and move them over here and all that good stuff. So I think the first thing I need to pull is right here. This is going to be the back of the shirt, and it's going to go behind the body. So this way, when she turns, I can show and hide that as necessary to show the depth that I want to show. Ooh, that's right. Maybe I can't cut it like that. No, I'm still gonna cut it like this. And I will just have another part higher up if necessary. So when the time comes, I'm gonna have to draw what goes behind the neck too. But for right now, I'm not gonna worry about that. Just for right now. All right. And then how did I have the chest set up? Let me turn that back on. Okay, so that's actually going to be a bit tricky with the way this goes into this. But if I have the chest below the neck, then I can put this on top. And now, in terms of layer order, I should have all of what I want. Nice. Although it appears like I cut that out wrong. Let me try again. That's where I want it, but I guess I cut off part of the shirt when I was separating it there. How odd. Cause yeah, that's all of that. I must have just accidentally messed up part of it. Whatever. It's fine, I'll just do it again. Yeah, there's like... What the heck? I have the background off. I definitely have that part showing. Oh, because it's going behind the... Okay, I see what's going on. Because it's going behind the necklace. Which is... Oh, nope, I did not want that layer. I accidentally copied from the chest. Still all sorts of messed up here. Okay, but no, this is expected because it's going behind the necklace, in which case maybe I don't have this shirt positioned right. But honestly, I don't think the difference is big enough for me to worry about. So we'll do that, and then I'll just hide everything and make sure that everything is cut properly. Silly me getting confused with things going behind the neck exactly how I want them to. Weird stuff like that happens sometimes. It's all good. Brains just get confused sometimes. They expect something and then something else happens and they're like, wait, what? What's going on, guys? What happened? What happened? There we go. And at some point I really need to redraw that neck. Oh man, I've been putting that off. I'm gonna do it now. I need to stop putting that off. Alright. Let's grab the original. And we'll just hide all these other things. So I can take a good look at what's under her neck there. I don't blame myself for putting that off though. I don't have a lot to go on. Well, here goes nothing. It's like her skin, pretty much everywhere else, is very, very smooth. So I should get this very, very smooth, I think. Just very lightly touch with my pen. And I think no, the shading doesn't need to be symmetrical, it's fine. It's fine. It's like I can already tell it's not going to be because there's going to be this darker part under the chin here. Layer locked, okay, good. Second there, I wasn't sure. Just doing my best to imitate the style as I understand it so far. We'll see how well I'm succeeding. I'm never so sure. But all I can really do is my best, so it's okay. I will do my best, always. I think that's all anyone can really ask of me. Here I want to get extra light, extra fluffy. And this head is in the way. I need to see underneath where all that hair is covering. And this I'm going to want to go all the way up. Just because that's how this sort of thing works. Okay, yep, we're good there. The head, the shadow under the head is still correct, which means I can start bringing the rest of this up too. I might actually want to put the cast shadow from the head on a separate layer. Yeah, I should actually do that. Let me finish drawing it first, actually. Normally I would draw it on another layer, but too late, so I might as well just finish what I'm doing here. Okay, I think I can do it now. Alright, so let's feather this on out. I'll turn my airbrush into an eraser. And we'll just get rid of all the edges and make this nice and smooth. So that this way I can draw it all correctly in the original neck layer. And then I will flip it to the cast shadow here onto the one below. So I'm just going to keep the shadow color. And get rid of it on this layer. But I think I have it mostly drawn, so this should be fine. Just fine. I'm gonna get very, very light. Probably don't need to be worrying this much because there's not going to be that much neck movement. But I want it to look good still. It's important to me. Even if it's probably in a part that not very many people will see. Or appreciate properly. It's just kind of how things are with rigging. A lot of the times people don't notice the details. Like, consciously. But their brain still appreciates it. Like, if they weren't there, the brain would notice. But because it is there, the animation is just invisible because everything just looks right, I guess. It's kind of a weird paradox if you think about it. Okay, I think that's probably alright. Let's turn the head back on and take a look. Yep, and then the rest of it will be covered up by the necklace. Like that. So there's just, not a lot to see. Let's put the lines in. There's like that color right there. Perfect. I'm gonna hide this layer while I do that. And I need to hide the head too. Head very much in the way when you're trying to draw a neck. This I should make symmetrical though. That will definitely save me some trouble. There we go. And the best part about the symmetry tool is I can draw on whatever half I want. Whichever half is going to be a little bit easier to understand. And I'll do the bottom too, even though I don't think it's really necessary. Actually, you know what? No, I won't do the bottom. I think what I actually want to do with the bottom is I want to turn my airbrush into an eraser again and kinda feather it out. I doubt I will ever use this. But if I find a use for it, I'll be ready. Here we go. That's probably good enough. Okay. So now, what I want to do is blend this shadow in. And I want to keep it so it's basically only the shadow color. I want to eliminate all traces of other colors. And this is going to be the shadow cast from the chin of the head onto the neck. And by having it on a separate layer, when I have the head move around, I can have the shadow react accordingly. And it'll make my life a bit easier. I probably want another one of these. Or underneath the chin, or when she looks up. Okay. So I think I will do that now. Let's put on... let me make sure that this is right before I go into that. And I'll put on the necklace. Where are you? Here we are. And I'll put on the flower too. Okay, so this should be pretty close to what I will see when it comes time to rig it. So I want to see, does this more or less match? I think so. There's a little bit lighter on this side. Alright, and do I already have my necklace sized for... Yes, I do. I'd honestly say that these are pretty close to the same. It's like it's lighter through here. I want to keep that. It looks like they actually have their under the neck shadow a little bit harder than I have mine, so I think I will correct that. I think I feathered out the edges of that a little bit too much. Let's fix that. And it also looks like it goes all the way around. Not just on one side. I think this will be a bit more accurate. Yeah, I think so. And so now I'm just looking carefully. There's this little light part here, but I think that's just the normal neck color, because it kind of matches what's down here. Over here there's a light spot, but I'm not sure if I understand it. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not getting too lazy here, just because I don't want to redraw the neck with so little information. But I think that's probably the extent of the information that I have. So I think I will call that good. Let me go turn everything back on, even though I'm probably just gonna have to turn it back off while I work on the shirt. But I wanted to take a look at it. Alright. And actually, before I go back to the shirt, I think I will redraw the rest of the necklace here based on what little information I have around here. Gonna hide the chest and the collarbones too. Actually, if I have the chest down there, I want the chest and the collarbones to be together. Okay. So to me, I mean, it looks like this is supposed to be something wrapping around her neck, but it doesn't have a shadow here indicating that these are wraps. It has this highlight. But it makes it a bit hard for me to tell what exactly I'm looking at here. Guess I'll extend the highlight a little bit. Where the rest of this is. I'll do the same to this side. And the head is a bit in the way, so I will clear that. This highlight is much thinner than how I have it drawn, so I will fix that as well. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. It doesn't come out of the front, like where this corner is. It just comes off the side. It's very interesting. Now you can see me just desperately looking for hints here, but there just aren't very many. But I do think it's something more like this, as opposed to something that looks genuinely wrapped around. So if it was wrapped around, I would have made a shadow more like this. But I just do not see anything even remotely resembling that on her art here. So I will draw it like this. Try to make it closer to what I am seeing here. Even if it's maybe not entirely correct. I can only guess in the end. So I guess it'll just be like this. And I'll put the lines back on. That part I think will be symmetrical, so we'll be particular about it. Why not have the right color? There we go. That's a much darker one. Do I not have these drawn symmetrically? If I don't, I definitely should. Like, the entire thing isn't completely symmetrical, but it's the shape of the bottom part should be. The bottom and the top both should be, I think. Maybe not, actually. Yeah, the top is steeper on this side. Okay. Well, I guess I'm glad that I paid enough attention to notice that. And I'm pretty sure I don't have to add any more layers for movement shenanigans. I don't plan to move the neck that much to begin with. And I should just be able to make the holes bigger without pulling too many shenanigans. And the flower I already have cut. I guess we'll turn everything back on now. And go back to cutting out the shirt. So I have this back part cut out. So let's remove it from the rest. Do I have yet another layer with that on? I thought I just turned it off in the back. I did not. My brain is just very confused today for some reason. It's okay. Some days you're just kind of out of it, and your brain does not work as well as it could. Hopefully I'll look at all this tomorrow and I will still like it. I will be a bit sad. It doesn't look good. It's because my brain wasn't functioning at 100%. Okay. Now I guess I'll grab the next piece. This is where I start dividing up the collar. I guess before I do that, I can see that I need to do a bit of drawing here. Let's take a look at the original. Okay, where's the shirt layer? You can see I'm just kind of checking things. And I want to make sure that everything's drawn nicely before I start cutting out too much. This part will go a little more up here, I think. I think I'm just going to do it like this. I think this is easier than anything else I could do. Might have to reline a couple of things. That's alright. So it's kind of a combination of the original and the part that I pulled in from the other source. Now the other thing that I want to make sure I do is match the colors here. Some of them do feel a little bit different. Like over here, I want to match this. And I think this is going into shadow because of the coat. So I may not want it to be quite that shadowy. So let's see here. Just trying to figure out the logistics and how I want everything to be colored. The lightest part is probably going to be closer to this color. This is exactly how it was in the other source. This just needs to be filled in. I'll extend the shadow down the rest here. I think that color is fine. This is a little bit bright, so I will use this color. Darken it up to where everything else is. And with over here, I think. Over here might actually be an appropriate place for this one. And up here, I think needs a little bit of darkness too. Be more matched up. Now I just have to connect them. Let's hide the original. Just so I can see a little bit better. So I gotta connect these. How exactly... What exactly am I looking at here? I think this is back of the arm. Yes, that seems correct. So that means I probably didn't actually cut this out correctly. It's a little bit sloppy there. So I kind of figured that I was going to have to redraw some stuff. Alright, then I want to use this line color. And I will connect these two together. And I'll cut out here for now. Okay, Let me take another look at the original. Is that the back of the arm? Does she have enough meat if I get rid of that? Yes, I think so, because this is the waist. So this is shaped right. And this is just as a result of a loose shirt. The way I'm drawing it is slightly different. But I think it's okay. Yeah, the arm is going out a little bit more. And eventually I'll have to connect them. So I might have to tilt this a little bit more toward the left. But I can do that. Okay. So I think this is right. So let me replace these line colors with the gray that I'm using for everything else, and we'll make them thinner. And then I want to respect the shading on this one more than the other one. So I'll be bringing this up more like this with this color. And this is indeed just a shadow from the coat, so I need to kind of pull that out there. Maybe around here. This is a crease on the shirt itself. Look at my unupscaled version. Okay, it stops. Is that where it stops? Yes, this is where this crease stops. Let me just round it out a little bit, but this crease stops right there. So I do not need to worry about this color anymore. Just some of the shadows that it casts. This color feels a bit muddy to me, but it does appear to be the right color. Well, maybe not. Let me pull from my unupscaled reference. See if this color's any better. Yeah, it's a little bit bluer. That makes a bit more sense. I don't have the layer locked right now. I probably should, since I'm doing extensive redrawing on all of this. Okay, so I have that color. And if I need to get the line color again, I can. And then we have this crease here. It goes more like this. And then above that, it's this color. Let's see what color we get. Yeah, that should look a bit nicer. As it goes up, instead of these super dark colors. And then I can blend this color into these lighter colors more easily, I think. And everything up there is just this color. There is one darker crease a little further up. Well, let's get that color. Like right about here. And there's just kind of a dark spot up in the armpit, like this. It kind of fades out. I just kind of want to smooth out some of these colors a little bit. There's a bit of artifacting, and I think it looks kind of bad. So I'm just trying to get rid of some of these colors that I don't think should be there. Smooth it all out. Make it nice. Yeah, that's looking better. I like this little pink color. I really want to incorporate techniques like that, where you take a brighter, more saturated color and put it between your lights and your shadows in my work more often. So when done right, I think the technique looks really nice. It's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, I can never get it to look quite right. Just gotta keep trying. Just gotta keep trying. There we go. Alright, now I can start trying to kind of connect the colors here. Fortunately, this artist does use shadows in a way that I can kind of understand and use myself. I can just create some additional wrinkles where I need them and that kind of thing. I don't think this should be quite so light when it's underneath all of this. But I can keep a fold like this in there. And I think that looks okay. I still have some to blend out, but how's it looking so far? I think the colors are at least mostly matching up once I blend all this out. And the transition from here, I think needs a little bit more work, but it's mostly okay. Kinda sucks that I'm gonna have to redraw everything around the elbow. That's just how things work out sometimes. Before I do any more drawing, let's go turn the arm back on. So I can kind of figure out where this elbow is. And I think this is just shadow from the coat again, right? Yeah, so I probably don't want that, what I'm drawing here. I'll draw that in a separate layer, and this way I can move it around and remove it entirely when I want to take the coat off. On that toggle I have planned. Alright. I think I'm gonna do something like this. Dark part kinda coming out here. And this should be the rest of her forearm. I'll blend this all later. I'm just keeping things nice and simple for me to understand. Fold like that's gonna kind of curve around like this. Spade out into here. Gonna be a lot of guesswork here. Cloth on her sleeve here seems very soft, so it'll be very wrinkly. I don't have to worry about it too much. So that's going to be a big lump there, and then there's going to be like a piece connecting, probably roughly this color. Maybe something like this. then my highlights can go more like this. Very messy, but it's given me the gist of where everything's gonna go and how it's all gonna shake out. Just doing my best to match up with what's already there. This is probably too dark right here, but I can adjust that later. Let me just get the gist down here. Okay? Yeah, that's okay. And then I can start doing it over here. Something like this, and I'll have to get underneath where that elbow is soon, but don't have to yet. And maybe a little bit going out like that. Okay. Now I can kinda draw more underneath here. Make some educated guesses as to what color everything's gonna be while I flesh out the rest of this. And I just kind of want to round it out so it's not quite so, I don't know, square, and this way her elbow can rotate. Just kind of guessing. I'm not going to do the lines yet. And then I think I need to extend this a little further out this way. And this a little further out this way. Okay, so do I have all that filled in? I think so. The arm isn't in exactly the same position, but I mean, in the original the arm is covered by the coat, so that's not too surprising. Alright. Let's finish drawing the rest of this. So I already know for lines here, I want to be using this color and not a lot of these other colors. I think this color's probably fine. No, that's the part of the hair. I definitely want to make sure I'm using this. Okay. And this is gonna do something like this, I guess. How does this work? Like, what is this? Is this just hair? Kind of looks like it, doesn't it? So I think I can just do that and then extend this color more like this. And that should line up more accurately with the collar here. Maybe a little shadow like this. That might have been what I just erased. I cannot see at all. So I'm gonna go turn on my white background. Let's see how that works. There we go. Now I can see. So I'll just do this. Okay. White background off. Let's take out the airbrush again. Good old airbrush. And see about finishing up this last little bit here. Get this all blended in. Okay. And this is a little bit hard Looks like it's hard in the original too, but I want to soften it up just a little. Make it look more like this. A little bit more dissipated even, because it's a little further back. Okay, now let's get rid of this mess. Clean up all that mess. Blend the colors together. Get them to be one and the same. And there we go. Look at that. They're starting to combine properly now. They're starting to combine. And look like they belong, and like I didn't splice two images together. Alright, let's match up the colors on the side here a little bit more. They're just a little bit too different, I think. I don't mind a few differences, but I do want them to look united and like they belong in the same picture. And I'm not worried about keeping the lines because I'm going to have to redraw them all anyway. We'll send this all the way down here. Just slightly using the airbrush over all of this. And then I think this right here is more signs of hair. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Make sure that there's no hair in there. There we go. Those lines will just be redrawn when the time comes. And now I'll just try to match up all the colors and the styles, as they were slightly different in both these images. And then I'll just blend out all the spots I changed and all the spots I had to draw. But I think it's looking pretty good. Let me add a little bit more of this color in the armpit area. I think that'll look good. And I'm just kind of drawing all this at once. Before I cut it, I'm gonna have to do even more drawing once I do cut it, but I want to make sure that everything is looking right before I start cutting everything. Some of that pink in there. Just want everything to look nice and cohesive. And so far it's getting there. The styles on both of these images were very ever so slightly different, so part of that might just be the quality, but I'm not sure. And honestly, it doesn't matter that much. It's what I have. So I need to make the most of what I have here. That little shadow there wasn't, or highlight there wasn't intentional, but I think it looks okay, so I'm gonna leave it. And all this, I think, was mostly in being redrawn territory. So I get to kind of decide how it all shakes out. And I think it looks something like this. Oh, do I have some holes there? It doesn't surprise me. I was pretty messy about sketching all this out. And now I'm just kind of guessing on where all these colors go. I need to get here a bit smoother. There we go. And with that, I should be able to apply my shadows just fine. And get this guy going through there. Something like this, I think. I'll need to smooth out the bottom a bit, but I will do that momentarily. Right now I kind of want to finish what I'm doing up here. And I think I'll do the arm later. I'm just trying to get the shirt done and I needed the arm to kind of help me out with that. Probably gonna need to change some colors, honestly. But I think I might change them on the arm itself. I think I like the colors on this better. Alright, let's figure out what the heck is going on over here. It's like I haven't been drawing clothing holds like this, but I think this looks really nice, so I'm gonna take a few cues from it, I think. See if I can learn something new and useful for my own works in the future. Honestly, that's been half the fun of redrawing all this. Seeing what I can learn and seeing if I can't find some good stuff to use later. So I'm definitely learning a lot from very explicitly trying to recreate this person's style. So there was a hole there, so I'm getting in there. Making sure I'm getting rid of all those holes. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks quite interesting. And I think I extended it quite nicely. It's like, I think like everything from over here is mostly redrawn. And then I had to go and match the colors, which resulted in even more redrawing. So I think I can be pretty happy with this. Yeah. I think I managed to match it quite well, given I had very little to go on. I mean, I'm pretty happy. Looks pretty cool. I mean, look at that. I'm sure people that are really good at this can find inconsistencies in the style and identify which parts I drew and which parts I didn't, but I think if you're just looking at it, like, all of this looks very similar. So I'm quite pleased. And there's like a little dip in there. Yeah, and then I just kind of smooth this out a little. And that looks like another hole to me, so let's fill that in. And then I can just blend now that it's been filled in. Yeah. Alright, and then I'll make that look nice and smooth too. And this is looking really good, I think. Put a little bit more lightness right there. Kind of pull this through. Let it taper off an end. Alright, let's clean up the bottom. Did I miss a spot right there? I did. Okay, there we go. And then I want to... There's this dark color right here in a line that I kind of want to extend a little more firmly. There we go. Clean up the bottom right over here. And then I think I'm going to put the lines on. The lines are this color. Let's clean this up right here a little. And actually, this looks kind of bad. So I'm just gonna clean that up. That was probably me worrying about getting too into the lines. Now I can take this color and just start going over the edges here. I still need to redraw down here, I think, but I think I will do that a bit later. Right now, I just want to check this part that I've done. Let's go around and reline all this. I try not to rotate the camera on stream. Or not the camera, but the canvas. And honestly, I don't rotate the canvas as much as I probably should in general. So I just kind of have to contort my body into odd angles in order to get a good angle for this stroke here. It's kind of funny. So if you see my head start to spaz out a little bit, that's what's going on. Trying to get to the right angle so I can make a clean stroke and pretend like I can actually draw line art. It's alright, just gotta fake it till you make it. Here. Some of this I'll probably end up redoing, but I need to check my work. I need to make sure that I have everything around the way it should be. I need to get rid of those neck ribbons. Oh, those are things I have to redraw there, not the ones I drew. Yeah. No, that's fine. I'll get that tomorrow. Alright, so that's first part of redrawing the shirt. Let's go turn all our layers back on. There's going to be a lot of steps to redrawing the shirt, I think. Yep, there's all the layers, so most of what I did today is covered up by the coat, which is to be expected. A lot of the stuff I'm drawing is for a toggle where I take off the coat, so makes sense. But I think it's looking pretty good. I can't tell that I might need to put a little bit more highlight color in some of that, but overall, they're looking pretty similar stylistically. I'm satisfied. So I think I will end it there for today. Thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at any of your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any other creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message me or at me on Twitter or Instagram, and I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.